Welcome to It's Your Business, a program designed to highlight our local small businesses. I'm your host, Veronica Douglas. 6 years ago, Laurence Rice landed in Houston and quickly realized the opportunity to fill a void for business owners who were in need of affordable advertising and photography services. With a passion for publishing and a strong desire to serve the business community, Laurence created the Rice Business Report radio blog and the Rice Business Report, a monthly online publication covering business-related topics, networking events, and bid opportunities from a variety of agencies. Welcome, Laurence.
Thank you very much for having me, Donna.
It's so good to have you. Tell us a little bit more about yourself and your background.
Well, Veronica, I guess we are all born with an entrepreneurial spirit, and ever since my early years of bagging groceries at a local supermarket, just doing type of things where I was serving in a capacity and getting paid at the same time. I've always wanted to interact with the public. I've always wanted to be able to put my best foot forward. And I got to say this, I always wanted to dispel the myth about black men, okay, that we're criminals or not really contributing to society. So I've always wanted to in my own way, but I soon realized that I can't change people's perspectives. So I said, you know something, just stay in your lane and do what it is that you want to do.
Now, you relocated from the East Coast. What
Yes.
made you choose Houston?
Four-letter word, snow. Okay, like Houston with Harvey, we had Sandy. Okay, and Sandy, he left us without electricity for about 7 to 10 days. It was sort of, you had to improvise to get along with that power outage. But again, too, I was in a little city, a little municipality, Plainfield, New Jersey. I had started a publication, the Tri-County Journal. And my pastor, God bless her soul, Reverend Laverne Ball with the Rose of Sharon Community Church, she says, okay, baby, she used to call me baby. She says, we have some rooms down in the basement that you can store the magazine, your newspaper there. So the truck delivery would come from Maryland, and tractor trailer would drop load these newspapers, and I would store it there. And I'd get in my old truck, and in New Jersey, we have train stations, okay, where people need reading material. We have libraries, hospitals, businesses that would allow you to put your free publication there. So I would get up about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning and just make my rounds to neighboring towns, okay, Edison, Woodbridge, Metuchen. And the further out I went, the more impressed I was with myself, because it wasn't just in Plainfield, New Jersey, which is only 6 square miles. So I really wanted to disseminate the newspaper and both attract readership and attract advertisers.
And for how many years did you publish that Tri-County Journal?
That went for about 5 years, for about 5 years. And as I was publishing, I was also a municipal employee as the media director or public information officer.
Wow.
Well, it sounds impressive, but it was a one-person department, and it was me. And I was charged with if there was a fire, if there was a public works emergency, it was my job to go take pictures of it so it could be presented to the city council so they could see the scope of the damage or what actually occurred. I was charged with going around and taking pictures of the damage that tree limbs had fallen on people's houses, their cars, telephone poles were down. It had snowed also, so that made it more arduous moving around the city. But it was my responsibility because we needed those photographs to be able to provide to the state capitol, the lawmakers there, to show how much money that we would need to fix the damages that were done.
And with storms and such, the news doesn't stop, the coverage doesn't stop.
Exactly.
So you have to get that information out to the readers.
Absolutely, and I enjoyed it. And what happened is that I developed, much like here in Houston, I developed a reputation as not being a municipal employee, but hey, there's a cameraman. So people would come up to me and say, hey, cameraman, my daughter's getting married. Can you come take pictures away?
And you built your business, then you started going into photography, I assume, from that.
Exactly, exactly.
So, what else do you love about interviewing the local businesses here?
Well, lots of times we see advertising or marketing in a 30-second clip on TV or a radio spot. I like drilling down to the critical mass of information that the business owner actually wants to get out there. So with my radio blog and with the magazine, I can actually ask questions or take pictures of the ambiance, the parking lot, the hours that they're open, and even food. I love taking pictures of food.
And at what point did you realize that there was such a need in Houston for advertising that is affordable? When did you realize that when you got here?
Well, it was almost immediately when I realized that there was nothing that would serve the small to mid-sized business owners who needed to advertise and market. And Houston is so diverse, it's large, it can be very, very intimidating with weather, construction, traffic detours, what have you. So I realized that the business owners needed somebody, a friendly, affordable advertising marketing person who could actually tell their story, okay, could actually tell their story. And I encourage all of my advertisers, hey, I would love to have an article about your business, okay? Not just an ad, but I would love to have an article about your business. One of my newest advertisers is Terry Walters Law Firm. I get her to write an article about law. So whether it's liens, how to place a lien, when you can place a lien, information like that, so people, business owners, and construction workers will know that, hey, that's my money, so I need to have somebody who with some muscle who can show me how to get my money, get paid, okay? So that in and of itself, it motivates people to want to find out more. They're not as intimidated, or they're not so willing to just write it off to just a bad experience.
And when you came and you realized the need for the affordability to get businesses out there, get their name out there, you came up with the Rice Business Report. Tell us about that.
Well, I will confess that the fact that Rice University is here, which I'm not affiliated with, so I don't want to hear from your lawyer, okay? I'm not affiliated, but I knew that there was something there. Okay, so why not name it the Rice Business Report? Okay, the radio blog, the Rice Business Report. Why not name it that? And it's easy to remember. We're not associated with the university, but you can still learn something. Okay, so I said,
and that is your tagline.
Exactly, exactly. So I soon realized that I was onto something, but again, I wanted to remain humble and just sort of let it take its course.
Now, is the Rice Business Report, is this an online publication or a hard copy?
Well, I do have hard copies, but at the same time also, I find that through social media, particularly with LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook, you can reach millions of people, okay? When I get emails from people from Italy, from Germany, from France, I always send them the link for the magazine so they can actually look at it. And to me, it's my instincts are, let's say, for example, a casino in Louisiana needs to be in the Rice Business Report, okay, because so many people travel to the casinos in Louisiana. Right now, I believe in Houston, the population in the late 70s was like 2 million people. Now we are up to about between 7 and 8 million people. So these people have come from all over the world, not just the United States, but they've come from all over the world to be able to settle and start their business or just raise their families here in Houston, Texas.
And again, this is a monthly publication that's free.
Yes.
How can someone that's interested in writing an article get in contact with you? Is there specific subject matters that they have to stick to?
Well, I have a penchant and a strong passion for everyday lifestyle information. Unfortunately, I'm not, well, again, I shouldn't say, but if I got a great recipe from a restaurant, I'll print it, okay? I won't do cartoons or puzzles or anything related to illicit behavior. But at the same time also, there are so many businesses here in Houston that need to, and just to take this into another level, that was my motivation for being involved with the Asian Chamber of Commerce, with the African American Chamber of Commerce, with the American Caribbean Chamber of Commerce, okay, with the World Chamber of Commerce. So my mother, God rest her soul, I know she's looking down and says, I did raise a good guy, okay? I think that networking is such a strong, it's a strong motivation for people to go outside their expected boundaries or expected territories. So I knew that upon joining the African American Chamber of Commerce, there was more that I could involve myself with. And I got to tell you this, that the camera is welcome everywhere, okay? It's welcome everywhere. So I've been greeted with warm welcomes and open arms by the World Chamber of Commerce, by the various chamber members there. So whether it's the French Chamber of Commerce, the Italian, the German, the Swiss, the Swedish, and I always try to extract some information about what it is that their countries export into the United States and what we import to their countries.
Now, I will tell you, I'm an avid reader of the Rice Business Report. And about a week ago, I ran into Sunshine Business Personnel, who always advertises in your magazine. And I had to say to her that I recognized her and her business from the photo that was in this magazine. Now, what type of packages are you offering to businesses who are interested in advertising in your magazine?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that because it's really, really affordable. I try to make it more cost effective, okay? For $60 a month, you can have a full-page color ad along with your article that will appear in the Rice Business Report. And at the same time also, if there are any photographs of your business, your service, or your product, I would gladly include those also.
And are you helping them, if say they don't have the photographs or the marketing material, how are you helping them get to where they need so they can be in your magazine?
Well, I like to sit and have a consultation because if you talk and you have conversations, then you can drill down to that critical mass of information that you need about their particular business, whether it's the hours of operation, whether it's any type of advantage, or I try to find out what type of person that they're looking for, who's their perfect customer per se.
And then you're able to articulate that through the material that you create for them.
Exactly, exactly. Much like when I used to produce cable television commercials for Lifetime, Nickelodeon, and the other channels, you have to sit and talk with a business owner to find out who his market is, okay? And let's say, for example, with Lifetime television for women, car dealers are crazy because women make more decisions, whether it's a car, whether it's a house, or any major purchase. The female, whether she's single head of household or whether she's married, she has, I would say, a 99% input on that decision.
I would say so myself. So what is your readership? How many readers do you have? How are you able to track that?
Well, they do give us analytics with JUMAG, which is the platform that I publish a magazine on. And it ranges from, I would say, anywhere from 3 to 5 million who are reading it. And that's globally, okay, not just here in Houston, of course. But at the same time also, social media, I'm a strong advocate for it, and it bothers me when I see social media is being misused for nefarious stuff, for stuff that just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And if business owners had a better understanding of social media, okay, and it's not something that they should just turn over to their kids, hey, create a Facebook page for me, create a LinkedIn page for me. No, it goes beyond that their child's abilities to do that. So in and of itself, if they would just sit and learn, okay, and I would say to anyone, if you've got a millennial who's in the household and he's eating your food, living under your roof, you put him to work on your social media page.
Laurence, I'm curious to know more about social media and some of your popular platforms, but let's take a quick break, and when we return, we'll finish our conversation on that.
Okay, sounds good.
We'll take a quick break, and when we return, we're going to continue speaking with Laurence Rice, publisher of the Rice Business Report. welcome back. We're going to finish our conversation. And Laurence, we left off, we were talking about social media platforms. What are some of your favorites and how has that brought value to your business?
Well, I would say hands down, it's LinkedIn. Okay, LinkedIn provides an opportunity to reach business owners. It provides an opportunity for worldwide distribution of the magazine. It engages conversations with business owners who you may or may not have even met, but they like it, they see it, they respond to it. So it sort of tells me, not sort of, but it does tell me that I'm on the right road to reaching business owners as opposed to using Facebook. And nothing for Facebook. The only value I can see as a business person with Facebook is that it's got the eyeballs. Okay, it's got many eyeballs, but at the same time also the content is not really what I would think it could be. Whoever invented it, I'm sure that they're somewhere counting their money, or not, maybe they stopped counting their money, but I'm sure that they might be somewhat disappointed that it really didn't get the traction or is not really getting the usage that they may have perceived it would get.
Now, you also produce a radio blog talk show.
Yes.
Now, what platform are you using for that? Where can somebody watch those?
That is, it's a radio blog, and that's the name of it, the platform radio blog. So simply, I would go to a networking event and call into my login, and then have that person I'm standing with call into my reach number, and we would have a conversation, their telephone to my telephone, and it gets archived. Okay, it gets archived, and someone can listen to it today, tomorrow, or whatever time next year.
And what types of conversations are you having with these businesses? What are you asking them?
Basically, I'm asking them about their business, you know, why they do it, where they do it, how they do it, you know, what could they think they can improve, who are they trying to reach. And primarily I started doing it with the World Chamber of Commerce. I would go to their events, and I would speak to someone from Germany. I would speak to somebody from Finland. I would speak to somebody from Italy. And I would ask questions like, hey, Italy is shaped like a boot. Okay, what city is that at the heel of Italy? And that is Toronto. And what they do there is they manufacture steel that they export to the United States. So a simple question brought back such an interesting answer, okay? I also found out too that you can import Italian leather shoes through social media. You don't need a warehouse, you would just do it on demand. Okay, so basically it eliminates the warehousing of these shoes and any materials. It eliminates that middle man, and that's cost saving. And at the same time also it provides you with a one-to-one relationship with the manufacturer back in Italy or wherever they may be.
Right in the middle. Are you noticing with the businesses that you're interviewing that they are going, you know, more away from brick and mortar, more online? What types of trends are you seeing?
Well, I'm seeing right now that the brick and mortar are cost prohibitive sometimes for a small or medium-sized business. I think that, well, I don't think, but anytime you have a cable television ad program or ad flight or schedule, there's always reach and frequency. Your reach is how many networks is your commercial appearing on and how frequent are those commercials. And on a weekly basis, you might have a reach and frequency formula of 10 networks, 100 channels, 100 commercials per week, which can be pretty expensive depending on which cable network that you're using.
Now, on your blog, do you sell advertising space there as well, or are you just interviewing attendees of networking groups?
It's just networking. There's no. I haven't come up with an ad pricing formula for that, but I just enjoy the exposure that I'm providing people. Okay, because again, since it's on the internet, if I'm interviewing somebody from Finland or Sweden or Switzerland, it can be heard back in their native countries.
And are you seeing that some of these businesses are diversifying? Maybe they're going to sell different types of products than they had in the past. Are they prepared for what's going to happen in 5 years from now? Or are they focused on their business today?
They're more focused today, and 5 years is that they're trying to reach 5 years. So to forecast what their business or where they'll be at in 5 years, they're more concerned with today and tomorrow. And what I like to do with anything that I'm involved with, I like to provide, hope for today and opportunity for tomorrow.
And what type of feedback are you receiving from the businesses that advertise in the Rice Business Report?
Oh, it's been fantastic. It's been fantastic. Businesses are recognizing that they now have access to an advertising portal that will provide them with not just marketing content, but advertising content as well. They will then forward the link on to their client or customer base to provide them with, hey, look at this magazine. I thought you might be interested. So it's sort of like a butterfly effect where the advertiser gets it, then he takes that link and he sends it on to his client base or to just prospects.
And you made mention that the hard copy is available upon request.
Yes, yes.
So if one of your businesses that's advertising here, say they want a hard copy, you're able to deliver that to them,
absolutely.
meet
Absolutely.
their needs?
Well, you know, the nuts and bolts of the hard copy is, can I mention that I'll simply go to Office Depot. Okay. I have a discount card, and so I can print maybe 100 copies of the magazine, depending on how many pages it is, for maybe under $100, okay? But at the same time also, I'll go to networking events and distribute the magazine hardcover to people who are there at that networking opportunity.
And you are known as the man with the camera. When you attend these networking events, about how many pictures are you shooting?
On the average, well over 100, well over 100. And what I'll do is I'll send it to the president of the chamber, free of charge, and he then disseminates to the different chamber members those photographs. And more often than not, someone will say, hey, we're having an event next month. We're having a gala. We're having a fundraiser. We're having a benefit. Your photographer shot some really, really nice pictures. Hey, we'd like to hire him now. Okay, so that in and of itself, and I come from the school, you've got to give to get. Okay, and I've sort of developed a reputation here in Houston as a giver. Okay, if I come to Milton's Breakfast, the Greater Houston Business Procurement Forum, I'm always dragging someone over to a table for someone I think they should meet. I don't know if I've ever done that where I've dragged people over to your table, say you should meet them, and I'll walk away, okay, and let nature take its course.
So aside from event photography, do you do stills, portraits, professional headshots?
Okay, of course. Anything that's going to, per se, keep the wolves away from the door, I will do, within legally do. I find that I have a likeness for taking pictures of food. Okay, and this started years ago when I was at a Chinese restaurant and the chef was preparing dim sum, which is lobster, and he dices and chops up the lobster, and I'm looking and I says, I don't believe he's doing that, but I just kept on taking pictures and shooting video, and then by the time they tabled it, it was dim sum, okay? So it was awesome from start to finish.
To be able to have all of that.
Exactly. My penchant is, my goal is to be able to work with some of the restaurants in Midtown, the Heights, or downtown Houston, to be able to actually go to the market with their chef and find out what he's buying, okay, and go to the kitchen with him and how it's prepared and how it's served.
Wow, almost like farm to table is what they say these days.
Exactly.
And a picture says 1,000 words, Laurence, and you have your picture on your business card. Has that helped your business any? Has that helped people identify with who you are more and the services you provide easier? Tremendously.
Even if I post it onto Facebook or LinkedIn, it gets a lot of likes, okay? But more importantly, it identifies the Rice Business Report with me, Laurence Rice. And at the same time also, it was a professional shot photograph that I happened to be at a Prairie View alumni fundraiser. And the photographer says, can I take your picture? And I had the right jacket on, the right tie, the right shirt. And that's how it came about.
And I think when people have their photographs on their business cards, it helps us to identify with that person more. You're less likely to toss it to the side. You feel like you know them a little bit more.
No question. And remaining humble, it's a nice photograph. Okay, I want to say great, but I won't say great. It's a nice photograph.
It is.
And people, they don't like throwing nice things away, okay? If it was a regular business card with no photograph, just words, they would toss it, okay? They would write some information on the back of it, and that's the usefulness that it would serve them. But ever since I've started using that photograph, that business card, it has gotten me, yes, likes, but it's gotten me business also.
And you mentioned the World Chamber of Commerce and a few other organizations, but let's talk about the World Chamber of Commerce. Tell us a little bit about the organization, how it's benefit your business, and what they're offering. How could somebody take advantage of an association like that organization?
Well, personally speaking, it's given me an opportunity to meet chamber presidents, okay? Not just the general membership, but chamber presidents from so many countries around the world, okay, who have come to Houston to start a Houston chapter for the German Chamber of Commerce. Yes. Well, they'll call it. It's called the German American Chamber of Commerce or the Swedish American Chamber of Commerce. So it's given me an opportunity to just find out something about their country. It's given me an opportunity to expand my knowledge, my personal knowledge about global affairs. And we don't talk politics. We don't talk religion. I'm mainly interested in the culture. I'm mainly interested in what it is that they export into the United States and what we export to their country. Okay, it's amazing when you sit and talk to a regular Russian citizen about their country and what they have to say about what it is what it's like to be here in America, the greatest country in the world. Okay, what it's like for them, what their experience has been here, and you and I both know that it's not me associated with the World Chamber. Look, for example, what Houston has done. Houston has become a medical destination, okay, for people all around the world. So whether it's for cancer, whether it's for heart ailments, or whether for anything, people come to Houston, Texas to see the best doctors in the world.
Now, real quickly, tell me a little bit about the Greater Houston Business Procurement Forum. That's where I met you, but how do you utilize that breakfast to build your business and your relationships?
Well, number one, Milton Thibodeau is a great guy, okay? And I started going to the Greater Houston Business Procurement Forum when it was right here at the HCC campus. Yeah, that's how I became affiliated. And coming from back east, it was the first, I don't want to say it's the first sign of life, networking life here in Houston, but actually it was. That's where I got my start. And I would just walk around taking pictures of people conversating, taking pictures of the speakers. And at one time I was videotaping it, and I did not have a media other than social media, which was kind of young back then, to transfer it to. But the Greater Houston Business Procurement Forum, it's once a month, the last Thursday or Wednesday of the month.
Tuesday.
Tuesday of the month. Okay.
Fourth Tuesday of the month.
The fourth Tuesday of the month. It's a tremendous opportunity to meet decision makers, number one. It's a tremendous opportunity to just listen. You know, God gave us one tongue and two ears for a reason, to listen. Okay, and lots of people or business people, they think it's all about talking. But no, it's great to listen, and you can find out so much more by listening than talking.
Laurence, in closing, tell us how our viewers can reach you if they're interested in advertising or reading your Rice Business Report.
Well, you can reach me through my email portal. That's ricebusinessreport@gmail.com. You can call me directly. I don't have a gatekeeper, 832-970-0492. Or just if you see me, and I'll tell you this, I don't know if I could say this or not, or should say it or not, but when someone says to me, hey, I see you everywhere, that's one of the best things. That's a great feeling, other than depositing a check into the bank account, but it sort of identifies, okay, the work and the effort, okay?
And we appreciate all the work that you're putting into bringing a light to all of our local businesses here, Laurence.
Well, thank you. It's nothing like appreciation.
For more information on Houston Community College Small Business Development Program, please visit our website for It's Your Business. I'm your host, Veronica Douglas.